I am aware that hour is late. Time for lunch is due. It's like going to bat in a test match when the last few hours are remaining and you are sent to fill the gap. It's a most dangerous situation. But I must take my time because these two great sons of India, Dr. Anil Kakotkar. By the way, I had the pleasure of meeting Mrs. Kakotkar today briefly, and I am very grateful to her for introducing herself to me. So that was a plus point. But if you look at all the people on the dais, excluding myself, I'm here, all of them, people ask me, what is the secret of my long life? These people, all along my life, I met great people, inspiring people, visionaries, Dr. Bhabha, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, and so on and so forth. And when you meet such people, and Anil Kakotkar is in line with them, Govind Swarup I have known for a very, very long time. If you want to make him angry, there is a very simple way. You tell him that you are going to have a project and you are going to buy all the things from abroad. And you run away from him. He is that kind of person. So we have discussed so many projects on radio astronomy and satellite communication and all kinds of things over a long period of time, and we have a very intimate relationship. He is a fellow of the Royal Society of England, a great honor. And the work he has done in radio astronomy is world-class work. I know because I know that subject a little bit. Now, Bhai Vaidya, if you have politicians like Bhai Vaidya and Professor Pradhan, who is no longer alive, we should go to sleep calmly, peacefully, because these are the best politicians you can have. And what is said about Professor Thakore, whom I have the privilege of knowing for a long time, and sometimes working together with Maharashtra Open University, Yashwantrao Chauhan Open University, and also IGNOU. And those were the best of times for us. We enjoyed so many things. And I used to ask people what they thought of work done by Professor Thakore. And I used to get such excellent remarks from these people, not knowing that I know Professor Thakore. They used to confide with me that work is monumental. And I would like to congratulate Professor Thakore for that work. Apart from his being here in Pune University as a Vice Chancellor, it has been a pleasure. And I also had the privilege of knowing Mrs. Thakore. And I feel we are kindred souls. All these people, if you meet them, you feel your day is well spent. In Marathi we say, साधू संत येती घरा तुची दिवाळी दसरा. पण हे साधू संत तुम्हाला भेटले तर तुमचा दिवस चांगला जातो. इतका चांगला जातो, तुम्हाला नवीन ऊर्जा मिळते. You get new energy. And that's how you get old, and that is the secret of my long life. This is the energy I derive from people. So if you want long life, you must meet people, select people who will give you energy. Dr. Anil Kakodkar's work in atomic energy is, as has been described by Vaidya, is well known. But I want to point out here something which is absolutely extraordinary. When India's interest in atomic energy were to be protected at international level, we had that time Dr. Manmohan Singh as our Prime Minister, and the way Dr. Kakodkar and his team briefed the Prime Minister to put India's case across was that contribution. And I would like you to recall this. Go back to the newspapers of those days, and you will realize that the advice given to Prime Minister was so important, so vital, that India could hold its own against the nations who were not so friendly to India. So this aspect of Dr. Anil Kakodkar's contribution is very important, and you should take interest that what did he do for us as a nation. Unfortunately, I didn't have too much interaction with him because he's a youngster. And I think we are celebrating his 75th birthday, right? And Professor Thakure's 85th birthday. So and of course, he was working in nuclear physics, and I was in space, so naturally our paths did not cross too often, too many times. But people's reputation goes way beyond. You don't have to physically meet them. And one thing important is, I read in the newspapers and other magazines or something that their family is Gandhian. You know, atomic energy is generally, you talk about nuclear winter and all kinds of things, it's a very dangerous thing. And here is a family which is Gandhian. peaceful, loving truth. And this is what I like most about Dr. Kakorkar. So, thank you so much for inviting me to this double occasion. It's a very optimized situation that two ceremonies are combined so that you must have saved a lot of money. So, but I am extremely happy that Dr. Vivek Sawant and his colleague Panchapur came personally to my home and invited me to preside over the occasion. I graciously accepted the invitation, not showing the happiness I had in getting invited. It was a very memorable occasion for me because Professor Thakole, he had finished his terms in Pune University, and Maharashtra government was talking about opening Open University, Yashwantrao Chavan, as we came later to know. But our bureaucracy and their love for education. And so Professor Thakore was called officer on special duty. Am I right? And he was posted in Sachivalaya. And nothing was moving. Luckily for me, I got some award, Padma Bhushan or something. And the bureaucrat in Sachivalaya made the mistake of sending me a letter of congratulations. I seized that opportunity, carrying that letter, and entered Sachivalaya and told him, wonderful thing, thank you very much. And so I broke the ice, and then I said, can you do something about Maharashtra Open University? So the ball started rolling. Then many things, but the bureaucrats are very funny people. Next time you go there, they are not there. The department is. So again, I used to go to Professor Thakore and said, now, where do I go? So it went on for some time. But as luck would have it, Mr. Sharad Pawar became Chief Minister. And some of the good things he has done in life is to start this university. He immediately said, let us start it. And then things started moving, and then Professor Thakore came to Ahmedabad, we discussed things, and then he invited me to be on their council for some time. And I remember this Open University is a very funny game. One day we were meeting in Nashik, the council meeting, and afterwards, one morning I find myself in a garden of grapes. Do you remember? And it had rained, and the grapes are in danger. But it is, Open University is about that. It reaches out to people. The work done in agriculture by the Open University is also great. So, on one side, we decided that Open University graduate will be as good as regular university graduate. That was the principle we adopted. At the same time, it must reach the lowest of the low. By what they was talking about equality, socialism of education. This is that. I think you must look at Open University's work, the work done by Yashwantrao Chavan, Maharashtra Open University is great. And whatever possible is there, you must try to support it. Also, I spent some time this morning when you were talking about education. It looked great, but I must say I had a lot of difficulty understanding because I joined in the middle of the game. But I think education, because even in site experiment, people talked about it, it was the world's largest communication experiment ever done 45 years ago. And I had the privilege of leading that experiment. And it was done in 6 different poorest of the poor states of India, Bihar, Orissa and others, 3,000 villages. And apart from many other things we did, we wanted to teach school children science. So the question is, how do you teach science to students who have one teacher in the school? He teaches all classes, all subjects, and who is not a specialist, who has no laboratory, who has no science background, who has no science books. And then you put on television a science program. How do you design that science program? When you have such difficulty, you resort to philosophy. And our philosophy is, science is everywhere. There is no need for laboratory. There is no need for books. Science is everywhere. It is in observation and asking questions. It is in your kitchen. It is in your bicycle. Why you put air in your tire? Why does it get hot? Such simple questions you ask, and in the process, we made 200 science programs for school children, the most backward schools. And I tell you, the results were excellent. But you know, the producers we had taken the best producers of the batch in 1975 from FTII, gold medal. But when the first programs were produced, we were absolutely crestfallen. if they had never taught them how to make science programs, television programs. Philosophy again. But afterwards, they were brilliant students. They learned from us. We were scientists. So I want to, people talked about my contribution to space program, but this was one of them. And I enjoyed that. So again, I want to thank Dr. Vivek Samant for inviting me here to preside over, not preside over, sorry, to be just lend my presence here for this occasion, because I honestly want to tell you that Professor Ram Thakore and Dr. Anil Kakbadkar are two scientists who are after my heart. Thank you very much.